very predictable how the Taoiseach responded. You know, it is the nature, it's the culture of our systems to try and sweep things under the carpet and make them go away and ignore people. So it's not surprising that he didn't want to look at her. He probably, for him in that moment, he was thinking, I don't want to have a Simon Harris moment like what Simon had when he met the carer. You know, I would imagine he was trying in his own head. He wasn't even hearing her. And then Mary Butler jumping in to act as the bodyguard nearly. And thankfully, and Antoinette was quick enough to say, sorry, you told me 2 years ago that you would meet with me and you haven't even acknowledged us. And sadly, I felt that line is the crux of all our experiences, be it ourselves in older person services when there's failure and harm, be it the children and the children's hospital and that whole catastrophe with CHI. And then you've got the like we've had the hips, we've had the springs and spines. Everybody as a family who's dealing with a crisis, if you've got a sick child or an adult or somebody who's experienced harm or has been failed by the system, initially you're in a big whirlwind, you're fighting on your own. You've got your child, your parent, your loved one, whoever it may be, and you want what's best for them. You're seeing them in pain. You're seeing that something awful has happened and nobody will help you. So the stress of that, apart from the direct impact to the person, you know, in this case, a child who's not reaching their full potential, who's living in pain, whose education has most likely been affected and whose future has been affected. You have the impact then on the family and the financial cost, the emotional cost, and it's a really hard thing on your own. And I suppose without social media, before the social media period, it was standard that we'd all these families across the country in all these different areas of healthcare or social care, and they were fighting a system on their own. And I think social media in some way brought us all together and brought family groups together. And I think in all the awfulness that's coming out, you know, the failures in Tusla, the lack of accountability, the lack of oversight, I think the one thing that's positive, possibly, that's coming out of this is really strong family parent groups who are standing up and they're taking the lead and saying, we know what's wrong because we have lived these failures. It's our children that has failed. Like CHI have been shouting for the families, the scoliosis families have been so active. Harvey himself was active with his parents, and yet we've lost him.